And we're recording.
We are.
Oh wait, what's our volume? Check.
I think it's good from last time. You sound good.
7. Yep. All good.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
I think we sounded a little better last time when I was editing. Think I need to just remember to speak a little. Well, if I'm not speaking louder, just keep my microphone here.
Yeah, I think sometimes you drag it away from your face. I do the same thing.
I'm also just quiet.
You are really quiet.
You're always at a good volume.
I try and enunciate because I'm so used to it, because now being like a teacher of the class, it's like you have to basically learn how to project your voice across a room, and so everyone can hear you even though they're fucking not listening. We know it.
Yeah, and they're like right there, so it's not a big space. But welcome back. We're unapologetic introverts. That is Erin.
I'm Erin.
I am Jade.
Jade.
It is almost the end of December. Yeah, it's almost the end of December, didn't you know?
We're out. I'm out today. I went to work so grumpy and tired, and I'm so tired.
I know. My alarm went off, and I was like, do I have to get out of bed?
I leaned back in my chair today at work, and I was just like, guys, if I just fall asleep.
I think I said you fell out of it.
I was just going to be like, no, just sign me out for a little bit.
No, get paid. Snooze on the clock.
Hard to do when your boss is in the next room.
If he stays in that room, he won't know.
Right.
What he doesn't know won't kill him.
Exactly.
Oops.
That's good timing. Matching ums. New book?
Yeah, I was going to say something before that. Now I forget.
Oh, sorry.
It's not your fault. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, new book. Well, not new book. I finished another book is what I should have wrote.
What are you at now? Like 400?
I hit 40. I hit my 40.
So you have literally a month to read 10 more.
I don't have 10 more in my house. I have like
How do you not have 10 more?
Because I had like enough to get to my 40 with like 2 extra.
That's just weird. I think you have more hiding around here than you know.
No. Well, there's technically at least one in the house that's been bought for me for Christmas. Because I was there when she got it at Costco.
Good old Costco.
Yeah, so I picked up Powerless on...
Oh, I heard that one's a good one.
Sunday?
I have that one on my Kindle.
It is, like... I heard mixed reviews, and so I bought that, and before even reading it, I went and bought the second one, Reckless. In the Indigo exclusive, because it was like a nice blue instead of the red, so it matches the purple better, because I'm crazy. These are in hardcover, so I don't have to wait when the next one comes out in April.
You're still nuts, so
I know.
It's fine.
But so I picked that up expecting, okay, nothing like whatever. Nothing is like my other ones that I just read, and nothing is like Akatar. It was so good. It was so good.
Surprise! Read this one. This is good. This is good on topic stuff right now.
Oh, it was so good. We love a powerful, badass woman in like a fantasy world who's got to fight and get shit done.
That's because that's what women are on a daily basis.
Oh, it was like I didn't expect to love it as much. And I don't know if it's because I never really knew what it was about. I just saw it on TikTok a lot, but like not what the background was.
Yeah.
And I just bought it.
Sometimes that's what you got to do, right?
But yeah, I think I finished it in 2 days. I paced myself. I was like, okay, you need to go to bed. It's like Sunday at 10:30. Like, go to bed.
Sure.
I think I finished it on the Tuesday, but it was, I was like, oh my God. And like the twists and the turns. And I'm just like,
next.
A little bit of a love triangle.
Next.
But nobody's pregnant yet, so we're good.
Okay, yeah, let me know, and then I'll just stop and reading immediately before that happens.
Oh, it was so good. I'm really happy that I have the next one. But I want to like not read it right now, because then I have to wait until April.
That's a long time.
I could start Fourth Wing if I wanted to.
You could.
Because like,
did you read the first one?
Fourth Wing was the first one.
Oh, the next one's Iron
Flame. Which I asked for Christmas. So if anybody's listening that got my Christmas list and you didn't get it, could you like kindly let me know?
Do you know? I keep thinking about this. Your family's so strange. You have a Christmas list.
I make them one.
I think that's so smart though, because my parents are always like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Well, you don't know who I am." Like every time. You buy me something. You've like,
That's what I mean.
They don't know who I am. We've lived together for years.
I still get asked if I like carrots, okay? At family dinners. I'm like, seriously? No.
Nobody knows who you are.
No. So instead of you wasting your money, it went like this. It was, here are the books I want, literally because I'm
Just
so
books.
picky. No, it actually wasn't that many books. It was, this is an Indigo special edition. If it's not out on Indigo, don't buy it. It's another one of the Carly Fortune ones. So the cover is like stupid colors. Not stupid colors. Sorry, Carly. I like it better, the Indigo version. Ones that are like specifically paperback, do not buy a hardcover. I don't care where you buy it from. Don't buy a hardcover.
Disrupt my system.
And then, it was books. Like, if you want to buy me a gift card, here are the places I'm accepting gift cards for.
Like a merchant processor.
Yeah.
I only accept these valued credit cards.
It was gift cards. I always get a pair of PJs that I open on Christmas Eve. So I found some from Chapters that have like stars all over them.
Don't you have like a million pajamas then? Like that's like 25 years of pajamas?
Well, when I was a kid, I would grow out of them.
You got them stashed around here somewhere.
Sometimes it was just like a pajama shirt or whatever, because most of my pajamas are just giant band t-shirts. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah. You don't actually wear pajamas.
No. So I have like my nice pajamas. I have like probably 4 pairs. But the Indigo
the fancy
ones,
pairs that you're saving.
The 4 like fancy Indigo pairs. I think they're Love and Lore. They're so soft. They are worth the money. They are expensive, but they're really cute. Yeah, it was like that, pajamas, a new watch band, and
love it.
And I pointed out to my mom, because we don't have the mint cherries orange anymore in Canada because everyone hates me. Yeah, growing up, my mom loves the cherries chocolate orange. That's what she gets for Christmas.
Yeah, my dad's the same. What is with that generation and orange chocolate?
I don't know.
Barf.
So from like a really young age until I don't know when they stopped selling it, there was a strictly mint version, no orange. And I was
going to ask.
The best mint chocolate, like the best.
Better than a York patty?
Oh, I don't like peppermint York, like those. I don't like those.
You're nuts. Those
they taste like
toothpaste.
Toothpaste. This was so good, and then they discontinued it in Canada, and I got really offended. And we've been trying to like find chocolate substitutes since. Nothing tops it. Last year, my mother got me peppermint cookie Lindors.
Ooh!
Oh my god,
that sounds really good.
So I pointed those out in the grocery store, and I went, "If anyone just wants to buy this would be nice. Give me my chocolate." But yeah, and I hyperlink everything in my list too. I'm like, you can't go
I'm gonna
wrong.
make this so ridiculously easy for you.
Please.
You can't go wrong.
But of course, nobody tells me what they want.
But I know it's the same thing in my house. It's like, what do I get for you people? Like, so this year I'm picking things that I'm going past the idea of something they need, and it's maybe something that they wouldn't splurge on.
Okay, splurge on themselves. That's nice.
Yeah, so
you're easy to shop for. I got you 2 little things already.
Thanks. I try and be super easy. I wish my parents felt that way. Not that I'm
so excited for the one because I bought myself something to go with it.
Yay, we could be matching.
And the other one is local and handmade. I just ate the microphone.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
so
excited.
I also just finished last week, I think. Maybe the night we recorded our podcast, I finished Daisy Jones and the Six.
Yep. Yeah, you said you were watching that.
Oh, it's good. So good.
I haven't really tuned in, but maybe I'll give it a go.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I think it was only like 10 episodes.
Oh. Is it like over now, like miniseries or?
Yeah. It was only 1 season.
That's great. I love miniseries.
But everyone that's in it, you know, because it's about like a band. They all play. They all sing live. Like there's really good songs. So it was really good. And the main dude, I forget what his actual name is, but he's in like what's the one with Emilia Clarke and he's in the wheelchair? That dude.
I'm so bad at names.
Do you know who he looks like? Or can you picture him?
No.
God, crap. I'll find it later. He's a beautiful human.
Nope. Not even a chance.
Beautiful
of
human.
Names.
So I know I'm really late to the game, but if anyone else has been debating on watching it, it's on Prime. So
cool. Yeah. It's been on my list, but I've been like meh. Got other priorities, you know.
Yeah, well, I was off for a week and had nothing to watch.
Yeah, I have all the subscription channels. Well, now I don't. Most of them are I just unsubscribe from because they're renewing and it's like twice the price. The only reason I took it in the first place was to get the deal. Okay.
Yeah, and it was like they're supposed to be better than satellite and cable, but now it's like now you've upped your prices. Now you have ads and commercials. Like,
yeah, the ads thing I get, but give me an opportunity to just like knock them all out at the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
Don't do it in the middle of the show because some of the timing for that sucks. It like cuts out where something important's happening and it's like, and here's an ad.
Always 10 notches louder than the show. I had to put it on mute every time an ad came on when I was watching the show.
It's like, we get it. Like, and I don't mind the ads that are for the actual like programs that are in the like the stream, you know what I mean? Like if it's like Amazon, then it's Amazon shows or whatever. That's fine. But when it's like playing the same fucking like insurance ad or like McDonald's,
just my favorite, absolute favorite. You get like English and then you're like halfway through your show and they throw in French and I'm like, no,
sure,
not where I am.
Yep,
I'm not. I understand.
I understand what's going on. That's my daily tattoo update. As we segue on, I got a new tattoo. Booked another tattoo. Scary times.
It's fine.
For the wallet, anyways.
It's fine.
And my new tattoo is like a magic space bunny. So
he's so cute.
I love it so much.
And he's with your little space possum.
And that is by E. Van Dyke from Always Tattoo in Toronto. And they are super awesome. Super nice. Super welcoming. Like went to school with them.
You did?
Yeah.
Why does everyone go to OCAD become a tattoo artist? Aaron, you gotta fulfill the prophecy.
That's what she said. She's like, every OCAD sculpture major needs to just become a tattoo artist.
Yes. You've had two tattoo artists. Go. Just do it.
Yeah. And there were also OCAD dropouts, so that also makes sense.
They understand the struggle.
That checks so hard. I probably also would have been an OCAD dropout if I had like the balls to actually quit school. I'm pretty stubborn in that way.
Yeah, fair.
Don't give up, even though I was not enjoying it. It's fine.
Fair. Yeah, so you got a new tattoo, and then it won't be long before we're back to see Katie for you to get another one, and maybe I'll touch up mine.
Vlog.
Of course, vlog.
We're gonna vlog.
And if we don't touch up mine then I'm just gonna drag you on another weekend. Oh no.
That's more actually donuts. Really freaking dangerous. I don't know if my wallet can afford that.
You're not allowed to bring your wallet if we go on a different date.
It's all on my phone.
Okay, well then it's getting locked in the car.
It's probably a good move, to be honest. No, I'll have to hold back. I think no more spending after March of next year. Just back into savings mode.
You got like $30 in May for a concert, but that's $30.
Well, I can pay that before May.
You can pay it in May. I don't care.
Yeah,
it was fine. $30.
I actually forgot about that concert already.
So did I.
Speaking of music, I'm gonna skip this one and then move to the one that is at the end. Voila comes out with a new album tomorrow, which is gonna be a week ago. Yeah, from the time this gets posted.
November 22nd?
November 22nd, yeah. They're coming out with a sick new album, and I'm stoked for it. You want to know, this is another, we're just segueing. Lots
tangents.
New album. Yeah. Guess what might be coming out next year?
Sleep Token? Yeah. Did you see the article where they talked about, well, you know, when they're doing the download fest, like whatever, and then they deleted that section that the artist talked about the new album? Is that what you're talking about?
There's hints there because apparently they publish a new album almost every 2 years.
Yeah, so Sundowning's birthday today, actually.
Yeah, so this 2025.
They also, did you see? I sent it to you on Twitter just now. They played Vor when they opened for Linkin Park in somewhere.
Honestly,
Paris.
I don't think they should be opening for Lincoln Park. Sorry, I think Lincoln Park should be opening for them. But whatever, if it keeps the ticket sales more affordable on my part, then
did they have the memorable coins in Montreal?
No, it's more of a European thing.
I want a coin. They're
easier,
so cool.
Easier to sell merch for them because they are from the European area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, if they come out with a new album, that'll be very exciting. I'll have to get another vinyl. Oh no.
I have a lot of opening stuff today. Maybe I'll save some of it for next time.
Oh yeah. That's okay. Yeah, you can do that if you want.
So I've been on a blonding journey. I'll just say this. I don't know. I'm trying out the Olaplex. Have you ever heard of Olaplex?
I have heard of Olaplex. I've heard good things.
Yeah. So I'm getting that delivered. I found a barber shop randomly that had it on sale for like almost 40% off. So hopefully it's real. But I mean, it's a trusted barber shop. It's not like some little shop. It's an actual like supply store.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah, they were having a Black Friday sale, so it was like $24 instead of $41. And I'm like,
might as well
try it. Why not? You know, give it a go.
Speaking of Black Friday sales, I have succumbed to the Adobe gods once again.
I think that's fine. I bow to the Adobe gods and thank them for all of their goodies. Oh, speaking of the Adobe gods,
I was gonna say, if you tell me there's somewhere else I could have saved money, I'm gonna punch you.
No, this is not saving money. This is like they just launched this really sick thing called the Neo project.
What's that?
And I think it's gonna revolutionize how design is being made. Like,
okay,
I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe this already pre-existed, but essentially, and we can look it up after, but Neo Project is part of Illustrator, but right now it's web-based. Okay. You create an illustration and then you can make it 3D really, really easy. Okay, so like the example is like
besides using like the 3D tools in Illustrator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a full suite of tools to make the thing 3D.
Okay, because the extrude and bevel is kind of my enemy.
Yeah, no, it's way past that. It's so much easier and so much better. And there's so many cool features, like you can like eyedroppers if you've got certain textures and stuff on the 3D object and just like bucket drop it into the object that you want. You can then take it into exporting as like pixel art or as a cool illustrated style. So basically you take your illustration, you make it 3D. You can then like rotate that into whatever angle you want.
Kind of like you did with Blender, or you do with Blender.
Yeah. But the really cool thing, which I don't know if this already exists, but I just stumbled upon it.
I'm going to pretend it doesn't, so.
Yeah. Is when you export it, you export it as a vector. It's not pixels.
Oh.
So it's completely modifiable.
It's just like a vector, like a SVG?
Like an SVG, yeah. And so you could rotate your whole model essentially and get different captures of it in vector format. So that means that you could essentially create so many variations of a logo or like a little mascot or basically anything.
And is Neo part of like the Adobe universe?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to play with that now.
It's super sick. I just encourage anyone to go watch the video on how it works, because I was just like, this is so revolutionary and why aren't they talking about it more? I don't understand.
Fair. Why don't they broadcast their sales more? Because you had to send that to me.
Yeah, I had a thought. I was like, oh, Black Friday's coming up.
I didn't even think of that. I mean, it's good to have. I mean, it's only been, might have been like 2 years that I haven't had it now. Maybe almost 2 years.
Did you pay for the whole year?
Yeah, I just paid for the year.
Yeah, you save $50 that way too.
Yeah, it's still half off.
Yeah.
And this way, it's not every month on my card. I just have it like a year from now, like 4 days in advance. Cancel Adobe. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna try and get it for a cheaper price again, but it's fine.
Yeah, you just reach out to them and say, hey,
I can't afford this.
Like, is there something we can do about this? And they're usually really good about it. So,
I mean, I'll use it for the podcast. So it's money well spent.
Yeah.
And I had fun.
Now you can play with the Neo.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I had fun animating a thing today, a snow globe today at work. So that was fun.
Now you could do that in 3D.
That would be cool.
Pretty sick. Try it out.
Maybe. We'll see. I think the iMac can handle it. If it can't, I'll cry.
It should probably be fine. I was running it on the iMac at the school, so. All right.
What are our shower thoughts today?
Shower thoughts. I'm following way too many Reddit things for them to just pop up instantaneously. So many tattoo. Why no shower thoughts? Come on. I'll just look up the thread. Communities. Isn't there a thing that's like, you follow these people?
I don't know how to work Reddit, so I'm not entirely sure.
Me either. Try a brand new look. No, thank you.
Just get me my shower thoughts.
Ah, here it is.
Yay.
It's a drop down.
Oh, of
so
course it
obvious.
Is.
Okay. Loading again.
Loading.
Maybe not loading.
Oh no.
Maybe no shower thoughts today. Oh, there we go. All computer programs are one distinct, very large number.
We talked about this on the way to Toronto.
Yeah.
Or on the way home.
On the way home,
On the way home, because someone has their license plate as, what's it called?
Binary.
So
I think the license plate was like, what, 0, 0, 1...
0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, and I think it's the letter H.
Yep.
In binary.
Cool.
I think.
Why did you spend money to customize that?
That's a lot of money. It's like $400 for a plate like that, I think.
Yes.
Insane. But also, it was a pretty like speedy looking car, and I could imagine people trying to remember that organization of numbers would be difficult. So
let's get away with crime.
Yeah, it's a crime car.
A crime car. Are you ready for my day list?
Bring it.
Are you ready though?
Probably not.
Heartbroken, sleepy, weepy evening.
Covered all the boxes.
We're back. You listen to Romantasy and Writing in the Evening. Here's some heartbroken, sleepy, weepy, overthinking, desiderium, I think is what we decided that word was.
Yep.
Depression sesh and crying.
Damn.
I think this is because I was listening to fantasy stuff.
Probably, yes.
War of Hearts, Family Line, Dark Paradise. Paradise. I found. Let's just jump into Sleepy Weepy for the hell of it. Stay by Gracie Abrams. Let Me Down Slowly by Alec Benjamin.
Oh, that one's good.
Wildflower by Billie Eilish.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Crying. My Tears Ricochet by Taylor Swift.
Oh man.
I Miss You, I'm Sorry by Gracie Abrams.
Dark.
Work Song by Hosier. What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish.
Oh boy.
Okay. Thanks Spotify so much.
You must be targeted. I swear.
I am. I always get to Sleepy Weepy.
Sleepy Weepy Heartbroken Jade.
If my Wrapped doesn't have the word Sleepy Weepy in it, I'm gonna sue.
Right? It should be there. If mine doesn't have punk in it somewhere, even though I really feel like I don't listen to punk music very often, mine is Scene Punk Evening. Just nice and simple. And as it knows me well, I've listened to Voila and Pop Rock, Stroke.
Oh God. Pop punk.
No, pop rock.
Pop rock is what we're trying to say.
In the evening. Here's some scene punk skateboarding. It just assumes I'm really into skateboarding or something. Alternative, emo, and angst. Well, no. Angst. I love how voila is literally an option.
Oh, really?
It's just voila mix. Cool. It's not all voila. Literally, there's only one song here.
Huh, okay.
Chrissy Costanza.
Sure.
Mitchell Day.
Sure.
Dramatic violin.
It's back.
We love it. And what about angst? Let's get into angst. Call Me Charisma. Elijah.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Hands Like Houses. Catch Your Breath. And more Chrissy Costanza.
Okay.
All right. Oh, there's a sleep token in there.
Yay.
We agree. That's fine.
Agree. I would just like to point out that my day list this afternoon was Molgoth something.
We like it.
So it's not always Sleepy Weepy.
No, you're on the charts somewhere in there.
It's just Thursday evenings.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
We're Sleepy Weepy.
Sleepy Weepy Thursdays. Yeah, it's probably because you're weeping for Friday to get here.
Fair.
Like everyone else who works the Monday to Friday gig. So, what are we talking about today? We are...
I was going to say, this is your topic. Don't ask me.
You're like, I don't actually know anything about this. We're actually talking about romance literature today.
And people are probably going, ew,
why?
I promise it's not boring. I found some cool facts.
Yeah, me too. And some interesting things about, like, covers, themes, sorts of stuff. I had to pull something out, people, and this was it. And we've been talking a lot about books lately.
We have. If you don't like it, go away.
Yeah. F off.
F off.
This is our podcast.
We talk about what we want.
You're not monetizing us.
No, we have to get so many listeners to monetize in Canada.
It's insane.
We have to get like 10,000 listeners in 30 days.
That's just wild.
I was like, all right, cool.
That's a lot of listenings.
Put
and that's
that on
for
the
like
2025 bingo card.
Yeah, 5 cents. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks. It's so much easier to do in the States.
I know.
So we're going to track some history. We're going to talk about some popular themes and maybe review some must-reads.
I found a list from Oprah that
I also
has
have
some
a list.
funny things.
Mine's probably more serious. I think it's like New York Times-y.
I say funny because I saw the covers and reading the descriptions, which is what we're going to review. I was like, oh, good. This is why people make fun of romance books.
Yep. Okay. Do you want to go first? Want me to go first?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. What do you have?
I have some history. If you want me to say my spiel, and you can pipe in with interesting facts if you know I cover something that you cover, but then I don't.
Gotcha.
So I don't remember where I got this from. Someone's blog, like book website blog, which looked like very bookish.
Very bookish, very genuine.
Bookish, yeah. So even before the printing press was invented, many cultures had romance stories and or novels. They were copied over by hand, which seems so tiring.
That's a lot.
Or told by word of mouth, or, acted out in plays. There's a list of over 20 ancient Greek romance novels that are like top shit apparently, and most of which are just portions of the original stories, but there are only 5 that still remain like very true to their original form, which I thought was cool. And then it jumped into another example from the Native Americans, and I should have learned how to pronounce this properly, in Mackinac Island in Michigan. There's a tale about an arch rock, which I feel like my parents have been to because it looks familiar. So a Native American woman was tied to the rock by her father after she was forbidden from marrying the man she was in love with. Her tears then melted away the gigantic hole in the limestone rock, which left the archway we see today. Her warrior love interest, I don't know why all of a sudden he's a warrior, later rescued her and took her to live together with, quote unquote, his people. And although the story's real intent isn't to showcase the real intent is to showcase the formation of the famous archway. It's funny that romance is like just always snuck into stories.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be the main part, but it's always there. Yeah. So it's funny that like now, you read a book and there's always like a little sprinkle, at least, if it's not just a romance book, but even back then there was. I also found that one of the first recognized modern romance novels was called Pamela or Virtue Rewarded by Samuel Richardson in 1740.
Yeah, I have the exact same notes.
And it was one of the first one of like the first romance novels that featured a woman's point of view because they were all in men's point of view before.
God, those must have been boring as hell.
Excuse me?
Could you like, oh man.
What?
Ooh, that's
that didn't even like, I can't fathom that.
Now like a majority of books are.
Yeah, when you get like a dabble of like a dude's POV, it's like, oh,
interesting.
This is a present.
But like all the way up until that point, dude's point of view.
Like, what? Do you have anything else on that particular book?
Nope.
Okay. And then in the 1800s, Jane Austen was like, hello. And then Charlotte Bronte, which I've never heard of, was also like, hello. And romance novels became popular after World War I when a gentleman named Walter Scott developed a mass market version of historical romance novels. And then supposedly that began with something titled The Black Moth in 1921.
Whoa.
Which doesn't sound like a romance novel.
No. But if we look at all the titles of today,
Fair.
There's a lot that do not sound anything like it's going to be a romance novel.
And then I jumped to the 1930s, where Mills and Boon, which sounds like such a fun publishing company, they're British publishers, and they began to release hardcover romance novels, became popular across England, and in 1957, Harlequin, Go Canada.
Oh, wow.
Began releasing some of their, like, Mills and Boon's romance novels in North America. And then in the 1970s, they went, cha-ching, I'ma buy you. And they bought the publishing company along with a couple other companies, and they continued to publish romance novels that are now being sold in mass market stores and supermarkets because that's where women tended to go.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
Straight out of the kitchen.
Yeah, into the supermarket.
Fight the patriarchy.
I've looked into Harlequin like before, like when I was looking for jobs and everything way back when. And I just thought, oh, you know, like Penguin Books, we have like an office in Toronto, like that's our Canada. I didn't realize they were Canadian. Oopsie daisy. That's all I got for history, but I thought that was interesting.
That is very interesting. Unearthing some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, I love books.
Books are great. Adding to your thing a little bit. Like you said, the romance genre is dating back to ancient times, and there's a lot of Greek novels about it. But the one specific one that most people count is, and I'm probably gonna butcher the name of this, Daphnis and Chloe.
I've never heard of this.
It's a Greek novel from the 2nd century AD.
Sure.
Insane. And it's one of the earliest known examples. And it's a story that follows two young lovers navigating trials to be together.
Oh.
And then you kind of get the idea that Shakespeare, right? Yeah. The struggle to be together.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if you talked about the rise in medieval Europe, but
I didn't. I saw this after.
Yeah. So it kind of began more into the medieval period with the courtly romances, that's including the tales of Tristan and Isolde.
Sure.
Or Lancelot and Guinevere, which is more commonly understood.
Is Lancelot one of the guys at the table?
I think so.
I don't know anything about that.
That kitchen table.
The knight's table or whatever.
And these stories kind of focus more on like chivalry and like, the forbidden love, and kind of again builds that background that we all understand from like, the plays of Shakespeare.
And then like just like novels today.
And novels, yeah. Like, I mean, every story has already been told, right? We're just doing different variations. Like the endings are all been done.
And it never gets old.
Never gets old. Yeah, I could read that shit all the time.
Yeah.
And then you already talked about it. The first recognized romance novel. So There's a few lesser known facts.
Sure.
There was a thing called escape fiction for the
Aristocrats?
Yeah, we'll just say that.
I don't know what
it's
they
the
are.
Aristocrats. They wanted to escape. Now, escape fiction for... Why can't I human speak today? Escape fiction for the aristocracy.
Aristocracy.
In 18th century France, romance novels became a form of escapism.
Fair.
For women trapped in arranged marriages.
Oh.
So they needed to live out fantasy. Well, it's no different from today.
Back then it was let's escape an arranged marriage. Now it's like let's escape just reality.
Let's escape reality in general because online dating sucks. Yeah. And a lot of the escape fiction was like challenging societal norms and hinted at freedom. Freedom for women. Oh. And then Gothic romance came in. It was a huge game changer in the 18th century. This was led by authors like Anne Radcliffe, who introduced
Sounds familiar.
some of the first suspense and supernatural elements into the genre.
Thank you, Anne.
Blending more so horror with love stories, which is interesting.
Okay.
18th century, they were like, hey,
You gotta spice it up.
gotta spice it up a little bit.
Need a demon in here or something.
Add some murders. It's cool. It's cool. And then men also played a role in this, which it's weird to think because I guess romance novels are seemingly feminized in thought.
Yeah.
Like recognized. You don't really see a lot of male authors doing romance novels.
Sometimes their books are weird.
Yeah, really weird. So there were many early works written by men, including Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter. But again, it explored the romantic themes, but again, it was like, societal judgments,
Yeah.
Scarlet Letter. That's worse. What do you got next?
I got some tropes and some themes.
Cool. I think we just did the same thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So you talked about it. Forbidden love.
Yeah.
So, societal external forces are preventing two characters from being together. So, Romeo and Juliet is a very classic one that comes to mind. We got second chance romance. Characters rekindle a past relationship or reignite a lost love. A good example is The Notebook, which I have never read nor seen, nor have any interest to.
Notebook?
Yeah.
I watched it. Everybody used to make a huge deal. It is a very romantic story.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just like, where's my supernatural?
We got opposites attract, of course.
Love
obvious.
that.
Two characters with opposing personalities fall in love despite how different they are from one another. Example, Pride and Prejudice. Again, never read.
No, I haven't read that
watched.
one. Yeah.
Friends to lovers, popular trope where best friends become lovers. Good example was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry.
I want to read that still.
It's so good. If you want the book, it's upstairs.
Okay.
Enemies to lovers. So again,
so good, but
opposites
so
attract.
corny.
Opposite of friends, sworn enemies, whether it's fantasy or not, they end up developing feelings for one another, fall in love. Good example, Hating Game, which book is so much better than the movie, by the way.
And the movie looks so awkward.
It's so dumb. Oh, it's just very cheesy in the movie. I'm like,
well, that's the only way to portray it because it's just so overdone, right? Yeah.
And then self-discovery. Character goes through personal growth Character goes through personal growth and discovery, and then they find love. So apparently, Eat, Pray, Love is an example of this.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
I vaguely remember watching that when Mom rented it when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think I maybe watched it but half paid attention. It wasn't really my thing.
Yeah. What do you think the best trope or one that you like the most in books nowadays is?
In romance books?
Yeah.
It's probably like the enemies. Yeah.
Yeah. Enemies or friends.
Because there's just a tension builder.
Ugh. And then
there.
You get a slow burn.
The slow burn, which either like is utterly painful, but
in a good way.
in a good way. Yeah, I don't know that. How about you?
I feel the same. And I think there is a good, very, very, very fine line between that trope being done very, very well or horribly done. And luckily nothing I read has been like super like bad yet.
Yeah.
But I know there's some out there.
Oh, I've read a few reviews for some things and it's just like, yeah, I could tell that was going to be terrible, but
because they have like there's very little room for error, and you can just make it sloppy and cheesy and just ugh.
Or even awkward, like crossing the line in some way and then ruining it.
Come on.
That's kind of sort of how I felt with the first book of Akatar, so I could understand why people kind of give up at that point.
Yeah,
but then they don't realize that it gets so much better.
Gets better.
So much better.
I had a couple subgenres which you kind of touched on. Historical romances, which I've never dabbled in. So stuff like Outlander, I guess, would be considered that.
Oh yeah. Isn't Outlander though like a time traveling thing?
Yeah, but because it's like set in the past and it's incorporating like real historical events, I think that's why that's in there.
Interesting.
But they usually create a very immersive experience for the reader. So I mean, it sounds interesting, but I don't really care. You touched on gothic romances, which I don't know why I've never really ever heard of. Like, I don't think I have an example of a gothic romance if I tried. Like, the fact, like, romance and horror, like, and I loved this. The article was like, often featuring dark and brooding characters.
So, yeah, it exists, right? But I think it was more of a genre of the time.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Contemporary romances, which mostly is what I probably read. And then I guess our fantasy books technically fall under paranormal romances. Because of all the supernatural and werewolves and yada, 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 which I was surprised about. But
yeah, there are other weird subgenres.
Yeah, there was a list, so I just took 4.
I chose the weird ones. Dinosaur romance.
No.
Alien love stories. And then time traveling Vikings.
That's so specific.
I know. It's boundless.
Oh, God.
It's great. There are so many subgenres. I guess those sort of kind of also count as tropes in some way. I don't know how tropey an alien love story is, but then we have to shout out to the TikTok revolution. We've got Book Talk.
Yeah.
That came out, I don't know, how long has Book Talk been going for? A couple of years?
Yeah, I think so. I always forget that I started my TikTok journey when COVID hit. It does not feel like I've been on that app for 5 years.
I think I avoided TikTok for the first little bit because people were like, it's just too much.
Yeah, and when I downloaded it, I think it was in 2020, and then it was just like, whatever. And now it's like, oh, you're bored? TikTok.
It's a black hole. It's a freaking black hole. It's not great for you by any means.
It's like a book, though. It's escapism.
It's escapism to not deal with the hellscape we live in.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's driving a lot of recommendations and making books insanely viral.
A lot of the books that I read this year, definitely. Yeah. Some of my Emily Henry ones, Powerless, Light Lark.
Some good stuff.
TikTok is where I found Lauren Asher.
Yeah. It just, and I think it's good. I think it can be a good tool for
100%
for authors that may not have been able to get this traction in the first place, right?
Yeah,
so
where I also found the Never After series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So a lot of the books that I've read this year, probably thanks to TikTok. And I mean, now Barnes and Noble and Indigo have literally a category on their website that says now trending on Book Talk.
Yeah, it's completely changed everything.
So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go in here and look for books.
I thought I'd also kick in a little bit of romance beyond Western culture.
Okay, yeah.
So in Japan, they had the Heian era of The Tale of Genji by Murasaki Shikibu, which was 11th century. And it is often cited as one of the first novels ever written and features romantic themes amidst like rich people. Interesting. In India, Sanskrit works like the Kalidasas Shakuntala, sorry if I'm completely butchering this, also delves into romantic and divine love. It blends a kind of a poetry and storytelling together. I just think this is interesting that no matter what culture you're a part of, it's just like there's always a history of humans being romanticized.
Mushy gushy people.
Yeah. In the Middle East, there's Persian literature, particularly called or by Nizami Ganjavi's Layla and Majnun. It's literally a cornerstone of romantic storytelling in that culture. And it's been an influence on both Eastern and Western literature.
Yeah.
And then Africa has a lot of folklore that contains romance, including tales that kind of celebrate perseverance of love amidst trials and issues. I thought that was just really neat that, we can think beyond like the first kind of prints of stuff and that storytelling about romances existed much longer.
It's crazy. Like humans have evolved, sure. Not in this genre. We still love lovey-dovey things.
Yep.
And we love to read about it, and we love to tell people about it. I think it's really no different than, the people online who tell their stories about this is how we got engaged and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's not a novel, but it's still same difference.
You're still telling a story. Yeah. So today, romance, the genre, is $1 billion industry.
Oh, and I think because of Book Talk, it has definitely become more popular.
Yeah. But now, because, it's 2024, we're talking about new themes. It's not just the old school themes. So we get things like LGBTQ love stories, interracial, interfaith, and a whole bunch of like a community that's come together to kind of celebrate all kind of romance, no matter what kind of weird subgenre it is.
Yeah, I mean, I read a book this year called The Kiss Quotient.
Yeah.
She has autism.
It's just awesome.
It is awesome.
And I've heard and read some like not full books, but like some reviews about some just some really cool stories about people with disabilities and the characters can be so relatable, and it's really cool that
I do
resonates,
also think a lot of books now, like maybe not coming out now, but even like in the Akatar series, like this is like a whole fantasy world, but and like these people aren't people like us, yet they still get anxious.
Yeah.
They still are afraid. They still are super sad. They still, are withdrawn when something big happens, and it's it's relatable, and it makes you, I guess, more, it allows you to connect more with the characters.
Yeah, then you become more empathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it in the fantasy books, I think it's always interesting when they start to describe like anxiety and those type of topics, because it's like, this is so like in a different world, yet they're making it like normal that this is happening.
And it just it creates a connection with the author, because it's like they see you, you know?
Yeah.
And it also just puts everyone on the same level. If the author is writing characters like this, and then the author probably has some experience with that emotion, right? Or the anxiety in this case. So it's like all of a sudden there's this like wicked connection that happens, and you just feel on the same level. It's like you just made another friend, but you haven't really met them yet.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I have a list. Do you have a list? Do you have anything else?
I just have I have 3 books that I took off an Oprah list that came up when I was like, must read romance novels of all time or whatever.
Oh, cool.
And I just grabbed like their synopsis and we can like review that because they're kind of nuts.
Okay. Bring it on.
Okay. So the number 1 on the list, and I took number 1, number 8, number 24. Okay. I think there was like 30. Number 1 is Not Quite a Husband by Sherry Thomas. And I would just like to note, all of these covers are ridiculous. I would also like to note that the Kiss quotient was on this list. So I was very surprised. So the night before, I think her name is Byron, Asquith and Leo Marsden are to wed, Byron sees Leo cheat on her, bracket. Yes, you read that correctly.
Oh no.
In shock, she marries him anyway, but quickly asks that the marriage be annulled. 3 years later, he finds her in India, where she is working as a doctor, and they end up on an epic road trip home through the dangers of colonized India. I haven't read any of these.
Oh gosh.
This is a novel of big feelings, huge mistakes, and epic journeys. If you want your romance to go big or go home, to put the enemy and enemies to lovers, this is the book for you. After all, the bigger the
oh no.
The bigger the sin, the better the grovel. Grovel? I don't know. And Leo does some groveling par excellence before they reach their happy ending. Thomas is an undisputed... Oh, Thomas. I was like, who's Thomas? Sherry, the author, is an undisputed master of historical romance. And if you love her style, check out her Charlotte Holmes novels, a wonderful series of gender-swapped Sherlock Holmes mysteries.
Interesting.
I don't want to read this.
They kind of hooked me on the Sherlock Holmes mysteries, though.
Erin might be into the other ones.
Who knows?
But like the cover is like, you know, half naked man, like wife's hand. Like I'm like, I can't.
I regret that. No, take it back.
Speaking of covers, though, I had a point when you were talking about or like romance being like $1 billion industry now. I saw a TikTok the other day where it was like, how can they be selling these things in stores and stuff? And everyone was like, yeah, they used to be in a section. It was all like the awful covers. Now they're cartoon covers, so they can be hidden on the shelves.
I have a whole section on cover information, so we'll deep dive into that in a minute.
So number 8 on the list was Flowers from the Storm by Laura Kinsale. Christian, the Duke of Gervolux, is a brilliant mathematician and a rake until the day that a stroke takes away his ability to communicate. Oh my God.
This is so random.
Angry at the world and terrified of that he has gone mad, Christian is committed to an asylum, and there that the fabulously named, what the fuck is going on? Archimedia Timms finds him, the Quaker daughter of a blind mathematician who worked with Christian. Oh.
What is happening?
Who's Maddie? Maddie makes it her mission to help Christian recover and eventually gets free from the asylum. Their romance is forbidden by class and hindered by Christian's illness and Maddie's own moral compass. Who's Maddie?
What's her nickname?
I don't know. And Maddie's own moral compass. But their connection is impossible to ignore. A classic of the genre, this one will require a box of tissues and a soothing cup of tea.
And a fucking map, apparently.
Whoa! He's the Duke of somewhere, a mathematician, has a stroke, thinks he's going insane, goes to an asylum, meets this lady who has 2 names apparently, and is the daughter of a blind mathematician that worked with him. What is going on? And the cover is like not mathematician, not asylum. It looked like a farm novel.
Lovely.
Okay, last one.
What is happening?
Number 24, Luck of the Draw by Kate Claiborne. After a modest but life-changing windfall, Zoe Ferris quits her soul-sucking job as a corporate lawyer and decides to right her wrongs, one mistake at a time. First stop, Aidan O'Leary, the twin brother of a man whose wrongful death case Zoe worked on. Aidan is not happy to see her, but still offers a way to atone. Pretend to be his fiancé and help him buy a campground for addicts like his brother. I've seen fake relationship. Not in this sense. Zoe and Aidan are both a little feral.
Well, that really
hurt and angry, and yet fundamentally good people who can't help admiring and ultimately loving each other. This book has the reader wondering how on earth Claiborne will pull off their HEA hiatus. I don't know, until the very end, and when she does, it's all the sweeter for the wait. Oh God, I'm glad I didn't read these before.
It's just my brain cannot.
No, literally all the books except for the Kiss Quotient were like those like famous like romance like naked man books.
Oh,
I'm like, no, naked man, shirtless men.
You know the book's gonna be awkward then.
Yeah.
I'll pick a few from my list. They're not as wild as Oprah is apparently into. This one is called The Hot Hex Boyfriend.
Oh,
interesting. I'm hopefully gonna pronounce the name right. Delia Merriweather does not believe in magic.
Damn it.
But she does believe in family.
Oh.
And her family happens to identify as witches. Their lack of magic doesn't dampen this heartfelt belief because according to lore and legend, they're hexed. Convenient? Yes. True? Probably not. Thanks to a weird birthmark, the eccentric circle of Merryweather women believe that Delia is their blue witch. In other words, she's supposedly the person capable of restoring magic to the coven Merryweather.
The one who doesn't believe in magic.
However, A, magic isn't real, and B, the spell is truly horrific and illegal in all 50 states.
Come to Canada.
Who's going to boil a baby for crying out loud?
What the hell?
So they're all completely blown away when Delia accidentally breaks the hex, sans baby boiling, obviously. Chaos and mayhem ensue, drawing the attention of the invisible witching world. Oh, gets deep. And that includes the sexy, brooding, and excessively irritable Max Halifax, who has recently moved in next door to settle his uncle's estate. Wow, that just switched to a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, I was like, where's the romance in this? What's going on?
Anyways, it gets pretty deep. I don't want to spoil it any further. Yep.
Oh God.
Interesting.
Can you describe him again? How did they describe him?
Sexy, brooding, and excessively irritable. Wow.
This is why people make fun of people who read romance.
That's a 3.71 out of 5 on the Goodreads.
Wow.
That's good times. Actually, one of them came up as Bride.
Oh.
So you already know about that, but for the people who listen and might have any interest in listening.
That's another one from Book Talk.
Book Talk, yeah.
Thank you for Allie Hazelwood and for me being able to look at the blind date with a book and know exactly what I was picking up.
Basically a dangerous alliance between a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf. And it becomes a love deep enough to sink your teeth into.
It's a good book. Yeah.
We always loved like the synopsis.
They're so funny.
They're so goofy. So that one actually got rated a 4.02 out of 5.
Heck yeah.
So that's not bad. And then this one is a sports one. Mm-hmm. But I recognize the author. It's The Striker by Anna Hong.
Oh, yes. I am reading the Twisted series.
Is that a part of it?
No, this is different. I also saw this at Costco last night.
I think it's about hockey.
I don't know. She's got a couple series. She's got the Twisted series, the Kings of whatever series, and then this series. It's hockey or soccer? It might be soccer.
Ooh, there's different book cover for this.
Yes.
Ugh.
I changed all my book covers on Goodreads to the recent ones because they used to be half-naked men.
Yep, I see that. She's the only woman he wants and the only one he can't have. Asher Donovan is a living legend, the darling of the Premier League, the arguably greatest footballer in the world. It is football.
Yeah. Soccer for our Canadian friends.
Yeah, I was going to say it had to be because nobody calls it a footballer. We call it a football player.
Yeah.
But his reckless antics and recent team transfer have caused much controversy. And when his feud with his rival turned teammate cost them the championship, they were forced to bond during off-season cross-training.
Wow, bonding.
Surviving the summer shouldn't be hard until Asher meets their new trainer. She's beautiful, talented, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't take his mind off of her.
Oh my God.
The only problem? She's his rival's sister and completely off limits.
Why is she training that team then?
No clue. Why is she training a man's soccer team? I don't know, but it's got 3.84 out of 5 stars. So
All right. The cover is purple at Costco.
it's better than the one I just looked at, where it's just this like clueless, like it looks like a stock image of like this clueless shirtless dude who's just like staring into the void.
No.
Don't do that. That's my opinion. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Speaking of covers, going into the evolution of the romance novel covers, starting with the 1980s.
Okay.
This is where it all came out. The era of the bodice ripper. So all of these romance covers in the 1980s were super iconic for their over-the-top and dramatic imagery. So this is where it began. This was the birth of the shirtless, muscular men, dubbed the Fabio-esque due to Fabio Lanzani's, big fame. Do you know who Fabio is? How do you not know who Fabio is? Go, because you're a baby.
I'm a baby. I might know if you tell me about him.
So like Fabio, it's probably a trope that you've seen, but it's basically like the long-haired guy holding up the swooning woman in like flowing dresses and the hairs being all windswept and shit like that. Yeah, so that's Fabio. Basically a cover model. Real life cover model.
Fabio's the dude with the long hair.
Yes. So these covers were like passion, melodrama, escapism. Basically, women didn't feel okay to look at porn, so they were like, I gotta get on my romance novels, and the colors were reds, purples, gold. Then we move into the 90s. I didn't even think of this until I started looking it up. And there is such a subtle change throughout the years. Okay.
Really?
So in the 90s, we became kind of more subdued, more...
Subdued means?
Sneaky.
Okay.
Okay. Fabio still existed, okay? They still had a lot of... we still do today.
I know. There's still sections in Indigo, and I'm just like, I'm not picking up the book. I'm not even going to read what it's about.
No, don't do it.
If you publish that same book and it has a different cover, sure.
Yeah. It's probably actually more attractive that way.
Yeah.
Anyways, the shift became towards landscapes.
Okay.
So castles, scenic things. More background. Broader variety of subgenres started coming in. And a little bit more Regency, like rich kind of historical romance. Okay. So instead of being about sensuality, it became emotional.
I became emotional.
And colors started to change. You see more pastels, softer tones, replacing the 80s look of the really weird, dark, dramatic colors. This was also the rise of embossed titles and floral motifs. Then we hit the 2000s, okay? We get even more subtle. We go into symbolism.
Yes.
Yes, the kind of the depart from the clinch covers. Okay. This starts to begin featuring like objects, flowers, rings, letters, stuff that symbolizes the romantic connection of the characters. Historical romance still kind of clung to that Fabio thing. Look at what is it? Is it Silhouette or Harlequin novels that are like all basically
Harlequin? I think
they have their own section at the Restore. Like it's just all Harlequin, you know?
Yeah.
So jewel tones kicked in. So you get turquoise, emerald green, sapphire blue, blah 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 blah, and then we get to 2020, and our favorite stuff starts to kick in. Okay, graphic, modern, illustrative.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with half naked bodies.
No.
So great. We still get bold colors now. It's kind of a weird twist that we went from like bold, dark and bold, and then all of a sudden, no, we need to hide this. And then all of a sudden it's like 2020 and
But it's illustrative, so it looks cute.
It's cute and it's collectible, so it means you can show it off on your shelves a lot easier, right? And the colors now are pinks, oranges, yellow, so you get like blues and like contrasting and golds and lots of cool like typography going on. And I love it. And I wish I could do more book design stuff.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Actually, I think the first illustrative cover I bought was Love Hypothesis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now like most of my shelf is like that.
But it's like collecting art.
It is. It looks so cool.
On top of like the story.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And it's cool when an author has the same designer do their series.
All the series, yeah. It's so necessary.
Yeah.
I need some matching books.
Yes, please.
And that's all I have. Do you have more on
I got
topic?
nothing else.
Then that's great. I think we're timed out anyways, so it's all good.
We're not too bad. We're only an hour and 6 minutes.
Sick.
But yeah, I'm here for a good rom-com.
I love rom-coms.
Also, just a fantasy book. Oh, like Light Lark and Powerless and ACOTAR, really. Like, it's the romance is there, but it's not like
it's not the main feature rom-com either. It's not overly powering. It's not like every chapter it actually has a story and world building going on behind it, which is really cool because you see the development of characters happening, right? Like,
there's a couple books that I've read that are just too much. Like, there's no story. Like, I don't care. You broke up, you're back together. You broke up, you're back together.
Yeah, you've told me about some of these and I'm just like, I wouldn't read that.
Yeah, but
you don't know until you read them, unfortunately.
No,
so
you don't.
Kind of stuck with it.
Even Butcher and Blackbird.
Mm-hmm.
Serial killer. There's like a little teacher romance in there.
Yeah, but it's just enough to get you in there.
Yeah, it's also nice after reading, like, when I was done with ACOTAR, I went and read like a really cheesy book. When I was done with Throne of Glass, I read cheesy books. I'm like, I need some brain mush.
Just need the easy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like me in watching shows.
Yeah, fair.
You know, you watch the heavy show and then you're like, no, I just need something to like
mushy gushy.
Just trash TV.
Smooth brain.
Yep. I don't need to pay attention. We're good.
Yep. So yeah, we're here for all the books, especially the romance books. As long as there's no naked men on the cover.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking it up.
It's just oddly unattractive.
Don't buy it, judge a book. No, I'm going to judge a book by its cover if there's a half naked man on it.
Hire a freaking illustrator.
I'm not picking it up. It is. I'm like, this is going to be gross.
Yeah. I don't want to think. I also don't want to see the characters.
No.
I don't mind them illustrated. Sure, I can overlook it. But like, I don't want photographic. I don't want to think about humans, okay?
No, let me make them how I am envisioning them from the author.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So don't ruin the characters for me. That's why I kind of don't want them to do an ACOTAR like live show thing.
I know, but it would also be so good if they did it right.
If they did it right, that's the fucking problem. They're not gonna do it right. It's. I can hope. I'll hope for it, but
get the people who did Wicked to do it.
Maybe, yeah. Or the Magicians. I think it would be really, really good if they had the people who did the Magicians show.
Speaking of like adapting things.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with romance or books, but the trailer for How to Train Your Dragon live action just came out,
and it's scene for scene,
which I'm totally okay with.
Some people are totally against that. They need some variation, but I get it. But
Tooth looks so cute.
He's so cute. He's a little, I don't know. I guess it's really hard to translate that much cuteness into like a real
dragon
textured creature.
I was like kind of worried because like Stitch looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
But like Toothless looks like Toothless.
And also, is there a live action Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah. It's coming out.
I thought that was fake.
Nope.
Oh.
It's real.
Well, it can't be any worse than the original version of Sonic. Because that
the internet
was a nightmare.
Absolutely bullied.
Oh, yeah. And they had to redo the whole production, which is fine. I think they
did well. I think it's hilarious that the internet bullied them into doing that.
Oh, but it was just trash before. So
yeah, it was really bad.
It would have been unforgivable. They would have lost so much money. And now they have 3 movies. And a TV show.
Oh, God.
That was a side rant.
Sorry. I saw it the other day and was like,
I don't know.
I'll watch it. I love those movies.
I do. I loved the movies, but at the same time, I don't know if I could do the live action. It ruins it for me. Anyways, there's a magic in animated that
there is.
You just can't capture in the real, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's it for today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got give backs.
We have give backs.
Mine is Satellite by Harry Styles.
It's a good song.
It is. I didn't really have a chance to listen to it until I heard it after I listened to the piano version.
Oh, okay.
But once
the music video is so sad.
Oh no, I don't know if I can watch music videos.
Well, it has nothing to do with people. Okay, it's a little robot. He reminds me of Wall-E. That's why I think it's so sad.
That's cute.
I think a lot of the Harry Styles music after he was like solo, I didn't really get into until way after they have come out. Like I when he was on tour, like both times, would have loved to have seen him because he's such a great singer.
Yeah.
And I have seen him live in One Direction 4 times. Like I understand. I have been privileged. But if he ever comes back, that would be a definite concert to try and get tickets to.
Yes.
It's like
so expensive good. Though, I imagine.
Ugh. Worth it.
I would go. I really enjoy like very, very good vocals. Very good.
I would also like to see this lady. I've got Fable by Gigi Perez.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I was going to put Sailor Song, but then I heard Fable and I was like, well, Sailor Song went viral. This is probably going viral right now.
Yeah, Sailor Song is viral.
Yes. And everyone's always like, this is a girl?
I love that. I love when the line is crossed.
Yes.
And you just like, there's just a power to the
oh, it's so, they're
the vocals.
Like folky and just,
just good.
They scratch an itch in my brain.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Any last mementos before I close this out?
No.
I forgot I was closing us out.
I will be returning defeated after, well, it doesn't happen yet, but when this gets posted.
You're not gonna be defeated, you're gonna be cute AF.
I'll at least be dressed
cute AF. You're gonna have a nice evening and we'll talk about it when you're back.
You might meet George Stroumboulopoulos.
Sure.
Which anybody who's my age,
it sounds familiar, but
or older, just it's big. Like
we'll
it's fine. It's fine.
I'll talk about it right when I hit exit, and I'll I'll figure out who it is, and then go.
Oh, it's that guy. Yeah, we grew up with him on TV. Oh, that guy. Okay. Anyways,
thank you for listening, friends. We hope everyone has had or is having a wonderful morning. I have a burp in the back of my throat. Afternoon, evening, or day. If you'd like to chit chat, you can send us an email at unapologeticintroverts@gmail.com. And don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and follow the podcast on whatever platform you are listening on. And the link is in our bio if you don't know where you're listening on or where you need to subscribe because you haven't done it yet. So yeah, you can find out where we live on the internet. You can check out our cool, choking on spit, our cool website, and you can check out our vlog that we posted when this goes out 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I should put that on the website too.
That's okay, you got time. It's got like 10 views almost.
Yeah, I haven't viewed it, so that's at least 9 people.
Yeah,
because I'm assuming you viewed it.
No. Sydney was the first person to watch it.
Then that's 10 people.
Because I sent it to her unlisted.
Day. Oh, how exciting.
Yeah. So it's fun. That was really fun to make. Also, if anyone liked that content, I would like to do more.
Yeah, let's do more.
Yeah. And then eventually, let's film the podcast.
Remind me to bring the Osmo.
Okay. Yeah, eventually.
And we'll test it out with the next vlog.
Get enough money and then buy the Osmo little pocket thing and
cool.
fuck around.
Yep.
All right. That's it.
I only have the gimbal, but whatever.
That's okay. Until next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.